Hi everyone, this is Elena Kraus and I'm back today with another card video. In this video I'm using a Pink and Main stamp set called Sloths along with my MISTI tool. I'll be doing some stamping, coloring, and then overstamping on top of the colored image and then embossing using my MISTI. I'm using the MISTI tool and I'm using the sloth that's hanging down the tree. As well, I'll be using the coordinating dies from Pink and Main. So I'm starting with a piece of cardstock. I'm using Catherine Puller Designs Premium White Cardstock and I'm stamping the sloth with Cure Arts Intense Black ink. So I'm going to stamp a couple times so I can use the second image so I'm not wasting paper at a later time. And I'm using my Chameleon pencils along with some Gamsol and a blending stamp. So I'm starting to color. I just picked out 5 pencils, the browns, because the sloths are brown, then like some peach or skin color, and as well some green for the leaves on the tree. So I'm starting coloring. I'm starting to apply the browns, and then I went a little bit black with the black on the edge where I want the darkest area to be, and then I'm just blending with my Gamsol. I'm starting from the darkest and I'm pulling that color towards the end of that area where I'm coloring. So I have nice gradation of color. Next I'll color this face and the belly. And again blend it. I use one of the kind of camel color and along with the light peach. So here you see the whole process of me coloring that sloth using my Chameleon pens and the Gamsol. You can as well color without the Gamsol. You'll just need to make sure that you color the entire image instead of leaving white spaces. And just blend using the pencils because the Chameleon pencils come 2 per each pencil, 2 colors per each pencil, so it's like double-ended. And they're a perfect match for blending. So I'm using the same, I'm blending the colors on one end, but then using the Gamsol, I'm pulling the color towards the other end of my image to have more kind of not as saturated color. So I'm just adding some more shadows here and blending everything out again with my Gamsol. Now I'm just coloring the leaves and then the tree branch. I'm starting with the darkest color, going towards the lightest, and then just blending it in with my paper stamp and Gamsol. So I'm just adding a little bit more of shadows there, and I think I'm done now. I'm gonna use my anti-static powder pouch to put on top of the sloth and then overstamp with VersaFine Clair ink, and then I applied some ultra-fine embossing powder. Then I heat set that one. So next I'll be using the coordinating die, and I realized that I could not really truly see underneath it, so I cut it from scrap piece of cardstock, and then I'm using that negative space to position my die, and I'll run them both through my die cutting machine. So here is the die cut sloth, and then I have some brown wood grain cardstock panel along with a pull circle and a pull folded note card. So I realized here I wanted to have a little bit more that pull note card. I want it to be more visible underneath, so I used my paper trimmer to cut down my wood grain panel down to 3 3/4 by 5. Now I'm using a piece of black cardstock to stamp the sentiment. So I'm applying that anti-static powder and stamping with Versamark. Next, I'll use my white embossing powder to apply to the stamped image. Just remove the little bit of the excess that was right there. And then I'll just heat set it and trim it to trim a strip. And then trim the sides so it fits onto my card. So now we are ready to assemble the card, and I will use some fun foam to pop that panel up, and I'm using the I'll be using the Tombow Extreme adhesive to adhere that. Or the same adhesive is the Stampin' Up! Fast Fuse. So I'm just adding everything to my note card. Now I'll just adhere the circle, the sentiment, and the sloth. So here I decided to adhere that to the side instead of the center or the left side. I went with the right side. Then I'm using some 3D mounting tape to adhere the sloth. And then I will use some black mounting foam to adhere the sentiment. So I decided here, as you can see, to go that like to be centered on the circle. To finish up my card, I'm adding some white Nuvo drops, and then I'm going in with black Nuvo drops for the eyes of the sloth. And make sure when you apply Nuvo drops, you set your card aside to dry. So here's the finished card. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my blog as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel for more ideas and inspiration. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye!